like I'm a big Honda guy and I owned a lot of Integras. Basically, like most Civic Integra front-wheel drive Honda fanboys, you want like, and you know, when the rear-wheel drive cars are out, or S2000 came out, it joined, you know, the NSX and being rear-wheel drive big boys car. You know, so a lot of us wanted those cars. In 2007, finally was able to, you know, I graduated college in 2006, and I was like, hey, I want a new car in 2007.
It's time.
It's time.
Alrighty, everyone. Welcome back to Automotive Anatomy. Today we have Chris. Chris, thank you so much for making the time for us, man. So tell us, man, what do you drive?
I drive a 04 Honda S2000. I picked it up in 2007 in Leisure World, actually.
So really new,
yeah. In Seal Beach. So I've owned it for 12 years. About.
12 years.
Yeah, 2007.
And so walk us through that journey. Was the S2000 you were looking for, or it just popped up, or how does that go?
Yeah, like I'm a big Honda guy and I owned a lot of Integras. Basically, like most Civic Integra front-wheel drive Honda fanboys, you want like, and you know, when the rear-wheel drive cars are out, or S2000 came out, it joined, you know, the NSX and being rear-wheel drive big boys car. You know, so a lot of us wanted those cars. In 2007, finally was able to, you know, I graduated college in 2006, and I was like, hey, I want a new car in 2007.
It's time.
It's time. So I was like, went go searching around, found one, an old dude in Leisure World, retirement community in Seal Beach.
Sweet.
He was just sitting there, covered, battery dead. He could barely get in the car, so he didn't have it. He bought it for his adult son, who ended up having a child and couldn't accept the car anymore because it's not a practical car for a family man, you know. So ended up having to sell it, and so that's when I picked it up. It was bone stock, 9,000 miles on it. Back then I was tracking my Integra quite a bit, actually, and I had big plans to track this thing right away. You know, my first mods were roll bar, seat, and suspension, and that all changed. So at the time I was actually working for Greddy, and I rolled into work and they're like, oh, we want to do we're gonna do a turbo kit prototype on your car, right? I was like, oh, I didn't even think about that, that we needed the car.
Way.
I
can't even think
and
about
so we ended up doing the turbo kit prototype for my car for the 04-05 throttle cable S2000, and basically for the next 6 months or so we were in R&D phase, also doing carb testing. So for a while, you know, my plans to go tracking with this car were out the window.
All right, Chris, so tell us, what do we got going on in the front?
All right, so I have a MUGEN SS CFRP bumper mixed with the MUGEN SS hood and some OEM fenders that have been professionally and fully flared.
Nice.
So what I mean by that is there's normally a lip here that, you know, people can catch when you're lowered going up driveways or something like that. So this has been fully flared, pulled out, and smoothened out with Bondo, you know.
Nice.
I bought them like that though, and it's really nice. It
was originally black, right?
The fender.
Car.
Oh, the car. Yes. And
then
car,
everything else.
Right. Original color is Berlina black. Oh, so the headlights are JDM / overseas models. I think maybe a VGS model. It's kind of unclear to me. Some people think they might be VGS model, but I actually got them from a friend in the Netherlands, and he says that all the S2000s there have these headlights.
Original?
Yeah, original. So he's like,
why
oh,
they get the best
they're
things
super
on the other
common.
side, dude?
He's like, they're super common over there. I'm like, all right, and I don't think they're all VGS models. So,
so
you know,
did you sell him your stock ones?
I did not. You know, he didn't want them, but I ended up getting these for a pretty good deal from him. And the great thing is, so they're actually kind of custom. So again, they're from overseas models which are usually right-hand drive. And so I didn't want the opposite cutoff, if you know what I mean. So when HIDs have for left-hand drive, it's it's lower on the left side for a left-hand drive car, so they don't blind oncoming traffic. But with a right-hand drive, you're on the opposite side of the road, so the right projector shoots lower. So I didn't want that. So what I did was I bought a second set of AP1 headlights, and I baked them both open so I could just take this chrome piece out, the chrome housing and this clear side diffuser, and I put them basically in AP1 headlights. And so it's an AP1 headlight with a chrome JDM insides. So I wanted it fully functional and US spec as far as functionality goes.
I'm wondering, if you're not into car guys, like, did that all make sense? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, sorry, I don't know.
No, even for sense. Car guys, like, he went through all that trouble. That's badass. All right, man, cool. So you say you flare out the fenders, so tell us, wheel and tire setup.
Okay, wheel and tire setup. So I have thanks, shout outs to Scott at King Motorsports for re-releasing the MF10s. These are 2017 re-release of NSX rear spec, so that's 17 by 9 plus 42 all around, with 255 40 17 Bridgestone RE71Rs.
Man, they fit, and they just fit perfectly in there.
Yeah, fits pretty nice. I'm glad that I ended up getting these fenders for a more aggressive set of wheels I had before this.
Okay.
Yeah, which were like a 17 9.5 plus 40 plus 40, 17 9.5 plus 40, and they just didn't work with flared with pulled front fenders. So I got these, and these fenders are awesome just because there's nothing to catch underneath here.
Right.
I can go up driveways at any angle and
should be fine.
This is a AP Racing Pro 5000R kit I got from our crew. Shout outs to Henry and Dan, but it's just a kit they provide.
Okay, yeah. Cool. And so the suspension that you're on right now, and what other suspension good is it?
So I'm on Tane SRCs.
Okay. Nice.
With Eibach front sway bar, and I have Mugen bushings, control arm bushings all around. That was just out of necessity for replacing C's camber joints and stuff like that.
So might as well. So you ain't got Mugen.
Okay. So when it's C's, it's like, okay. Actually, I believe the Mugen bushings are like not much more than OEM.
Really?
Or they might even be cheaper. I can't remember.
I doubt that, but at least you're justifying
it's
it.
Possibility, dude. It's possibility. Like for Integras, I think the engine mounts are definitely cheaper than OEM.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, because OEM is just super expensive for engine mounts. But for bushings, I replaced them with Mugen
You don't
bushings.
remember what you told your wife, huh? So you better just say it like that.
And everything, stock arms and everything like that, all around. So that's pretty much, suspension is pretty simple.
All right, so tell us a little about the hardtop and then the rear setup that you have going on, and then your exhaust system.
Okay, the hardtop is a Mugen CF hardtop, dry carbon.
It's beautiful.
Super light. Yeah, I just got this one, I don't know, maybe a month or two ago. I had the FRP Mugen hardtop, but this is, of course, one of the pieces I've always wanted. It's fairly expensive, but I'm getting towards the end of my build, completion wise, and it's just one of those things, the cherry on top kind of thing, and I really wanted it. And so the rear bumper and exhaust is Mugen SS, and again, these go together. The rear bumper is actually a different shape than an OEM bumper. So OEM bumper comes out more.
A little bit more.
This is a lot shorter and requires the JDM crash beam, which is a lot smaller, and it relocates the exhaust up higher. So the exhaust is a Mugen SS exhaust, which is titanium.
Is that the whole front?
Yeah, so it's a cat. So it's a catback.
Catback, okay.
Titanium mufflers with stainless steel piping, and it's a SS rear spoiler as well. Alright, so the interior, I have some Bridge Stradia seats with the brid rails, Works bell, short hub, and quick release, and a MUGEN steering wheel. I changed the carpet to red, actually.
Beautiful.
Black car usually comes with all black. Well, at least this generation AP2 comes with all black interior, everything black, including carpet and floor mats. So I wanted some contrast in there. That was one of my first mods, actually. Was the red carpet, and the floor mats are Honda Access floor mats, which I don't think they're available in the US, but a lot of the guys, they're really popular. They sold them in England and places like that for left-hand drive. And so other than that, I got some carbon fiber wrap bits for when I got bored one year. I got back here, you want to swing around. I have a MUGEN roll bar that I recently installed.
Nice.
With the garnish on it. And
short shifter, anything like that?
No. I got a OEM Honda S660 shift knob, which is that chrome knob in there. Got that from ICB Motorsports. So yeah, I've gone through a few knobs. Probably people might wonder why I don't have a MUGEN knob in there. I have had many MUGEN knobs, but they just don't fit my hand that well. So this one I really like, OEM, and has a nice weight to it.
All right, Chris, tell us a little bit about the engine compartment.
Okay, so the biggest thing you'll see here is the MUGEN intake. It's a carbon intake with a snorkel that's actually made to function with this front bumper. So it goes right through that little nostril right there.
That's cool how they they took the time to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like there's a equation to this madness.
It's very well thought out. There's the equivalent hump on the hood, made to fit the snorkel part of that hood.
So you can rock that with the OEM hood, or
so you can if you trim your OEM hood.
So no.
So you have to you have to trim the inside skeleton. Yeah. So it's possible. It's definitely possible.
Okay. Yeah, but you just have the 3 pieces and it just works.
Right.
Sorry, go ahead.
Right. And then so this red thing in the front is ASM cooling plate. So it's mainly a garnish because there is an OEM plastic diversion plate below it that functions the same way. So this is mainly for aesthetics. I have a Koyo radiator with Renegade overflow tank. I have the Spoon coil cover because I don't have the MUGEN one.
Yeah.
and a MUGEN header and a EVS high flow cat, which you can't see.
Cool. So everything else is OEM.
Yeah, everything else is OEM.
And now you're doing this on purpose, obviously, right? Just because you enjoy the NA.
Yeah. I mean, everything's here is done on purpose. There's nothing else I really want to do to the engine bay, other than like a supercharger or something. But that then gets back into speed, and then I don't have the MUGEN part. I have to take out the MUGEN parts, MUGEN intake at least. So.
And you already have that track car, which is your Integra, so it's like you're not missing out on anything.
So this is kind of one Honda reliability, Honda fun, and simplicity. I forgot about the Samco radiator hoses, but yeah, I'm not really into like shaving bays and stuff like that. I want everything functional. I work on my car myself all the time. I don't want any hidden fuse boxes, taking out fenders for fuses to replace fuses and things like that. It looks cool, don't get me wrong. I'm not bashing it at all. Just not my thing.
Not everything, yeah.
Just an OEM engine bay, everything where it's supposed to be. It's my cup of tea.
All right, Chris. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to show us about the hood and everything, man. I mean, I truly appreciate it. Somebody like myself who doesn't know anything about cars. So, what are the future plans and any shoutouts?
Future plans are pretty basic. Maybe just replace a few items that need to be replaced. The hood is one of the items that I've been wanting to replace for a long time, but it's obviously not a necessity. But just getting a fresh carbon hood because this one's a little old and weathered. Of course, the coil cover, as previously mentioned, which may not ever happen. And the hood's still available brand new, so that's definitely a possibility. And maybe the seats. I do love these seats. I do love these seats a lot. Stradias are my favorite seats. It definitely feels, it is a reclinable bucket in every sense of the term. But you know, MUGEN has the Recaro seats, MUGEN Recaro collaboration,
nice,
which are super nice. So we'll see about that. Other than that, yeah.
How about any shout outs?
Okay.
And don't feel bad if you just say.
Okay, so don't laugh at me. Don't laugh at me. I actually have a list.
Nice.
Because one, I watch your channel and people always forget who they want to thank, and two, it actually means a lot to me for this part of it, because I've been building this car for 12 years. Met a lot of cool people, and through this build, there's been a lot of people and shops that hook me up and just treat me well in general, just because they've known me for a long time, and I haven't been able to give them anything back in return necessarily, you know, like, you know, it's not a sponsorship relationship where I have their stickers on my car and I show at shows with them or go on advertisements for them. You know, they're hooking me up out of the goodness of their heart, and because we've known each other for a while. So I want to make sure that, you know, they know that I do recognize them. So sorry, long story short.
No problem. Take your time, dude.
Kenji and Mike at Gretty and Quincy, who used to work there as well, always good to me and treat me well. Alan and Chris at SoCal S2000 and Parts, former business partners. Tommy and Aaron at Go Tuning. Josh and Randy at Evasive. Eddie at Dynamic Autosports / Group S. Paul at Tane. Makito at 7 Apple for sure. He's worked on both of my cars a lot. Henry and Dan at Our Crew. And of course, my dad, all my friends, you know who you are. Friends that have helped me work on this car and been with me and seen this car change. And of course, last but not least, the wife. Thank you for letting me spend all this money on my car.
The most important one.
And time away from you.
And time away from you.
Yeah, most important.
Chris, probably one of the best shout outs. Thank you so much. Like I said, man, thank you so much for your time, and can't wait to see where you go with this car.
Thanks. Yeah, it was a pleasure.
All right, Chris, so tell us a little bit cool, I guess, fact about this hood that people like myself don't know.
Yeah, so the coolest thing about this hood I didn't know until I owned it was the built-in rain channels. So if you look closely, this channel down right here is meant to catch water, and it's on every vent. It's meant to catch water, so when rainwater basically comes down here, it runs through this channel and runs through each of these channels and goes through the inside of the skeleton and out the front, because the hood's sloped. So it'll go out the front, basically keep from water going directly into your engine bay. As long as you don't shoot water directly through the hole. You know, if I'm spraying water from the front, it'll lay down nicely on the vent, hit the rain channel and go straight through. So keeps your engine bay dry, and even in downpours.
Wow.
Yeah. Pretty cool, very well thought out design by MUGEN.
Shoot.